Cannes is the best show worldwide.
Cannes Yachting Festival really is the doorway to the marketplace.
The thing is with Cannes, you can see everything.
Yes.
There is not one bit of product that is not there. The innovation within that sector is crazy. Good morning, this is Brandon from Browns International, and we are back with another episode of the Yacht Show. Today, we're going to be concentrating on the Cannes Yachting Festival. As of today, we are Wednesday, 13th of August, so it's very close now.
We're on the run-in, it's exciting.
Yeah, so we're going to run through some info and details on Cannes Yachting Festival in general.
Great stuff, yeah. And I think we should underline the fact that, Cannes Yachting Festival really is the doorway to the marketplace, both current and 26, 27. We can see so many new models, exciting time. So I'm really looking forward to discussing this on Brown's broadcast.
Absolutely. I mean, I was watching something on Instagram the other day, and it was a US broker. And he said, even from the US side, he said that Cannes is the best show worldwide. Yeah,
that's interesting. When you pitch it against Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and there's Americans saying that just underlines how important and great it is. Well,
I think it's one of the it is the show where every other show will have its quirks, will have its perfect things about it. We spoke about Palm Boat Show on this podcast before, but the thing is with Cannes is you can see everything. Yes. There is not one bit of product that is not there.
No, exactly. And you very easily and readily you can walk from brand to brand, from model to model. You can see everything, and that is also why we're there. We're there throughout the show every day to assist clients, to make sure we're there in a consultative manner, and really enjoy the process of walking people through these amazing, not just yachts, but the amazing array of yachts in an arena that's it's unique.
Well, like you say, I mean, we're obviously there. The full team is there, so we have ourselves, we have charters, we have our administration side. So the whole team goes to this show, and we spend the whole week basically looking after our clients, showing product, and also just using the time for us to go and understand the new product coming out. It's just some stats quickly on what's actually there. Yeah, I mean, there are 700 boats from 5 to 50 meters.
It's amazing, yeah.
It's mad.
Yes.
That's 55,000 visitors and 55. This is a lot of 55. There's a lot of fives. 55,000 visitors, 55 kilometers of pontoon, if I'm not incorrect.
I think it's 5.5 kilometers.
5.5, nearly got it right. 55 would be extremely impressive, wouldn't it? Yeah. 5.5 kilometers.
I'm not negotiating with you.
No, don't. It's always an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle. So I think first thing we can do, obviously, as we mentioned, we're there for the whole show. So we will be showing customers the new product available. We will be seeing the new product for ourselves. There's lots of exciting things being launched. But before we go through that, Olivia gave us some homework for this podcast, which I haven't done.
Yeah. You do surprise me. Yes. This is a consistent thing in your life.
Essentially. And so I think what we're going to run through is we're going to go through both the two ports that are within the Cannes Yachting Festival. We're going to go through exhibitors that we obviously find of interest. And again, sorry, sailing boat owners, mostly this is going to be on the motor yacht side. And we're going to go through each port and just essentially what's available. And then we'll subcategorize that into what we find interesting, what's launching, and we'll have a chat through those things.
Yes, yeah, okay.
So if we start with, I'm not going to say Vieux-Port because I say it wrong. Is it Vieux-Port?
Vieux-Port.
There you go. Your French is much better than mine, sir. What have we got on display there?
What is on display in Vieux-Port? So the main kind of area of Cannes is a circular route around the port, the marina there.
Which is not 55 kilometres, it's 5.5.
Yes. But the thing you've got to remember is that you've got great representation from all the brilliant boat manufacturing countries. So when we're looking at Vieux-Port, you've got many motor yachts to choose from and to view. If we start with the Italian houses there, they really, really show their strength, particularly in the kind of 80-foot to 130-foot range. San Lorenzo, they've announced they've got 3 launches above 100 feet. That's one in the SX, one in the SD, and one in the SL ranges. So that's
which is all their ranges above 100 foot anyway.
Yes,
isn't
it?
Yeah. Oh, it's all their ranges.
It's just amazing. They've got that much product to launch at this show. Yeah. I find that phenomenal. Riva, of course, will have an amazing display under the Ferretti Group banner, as will Custom Line, one of my favourites. Custom Line 106 will be there, and Navetta 38. So there's, those houses really have a great deal to offer on the left-hand side as we're looking at Vieux Port. The British manufacturers, of course, Sunseeker, we've had a lot of experience with that. Their Ocean 156 proving to be kind of in the new genre of spacious, voluminous yachts. The volume in that yacht and the interior design is fantastic. So they've got that as one of their key offerings. Princess with their X class, their Y class, their S class, and announcing the C class. So we're looking forward to understanding what the C stands for. And Pearl have got a lovely range on offer with 63, 72 and 82, and I think they're announcing a new model as well. So the British houses are there.
Yep.
This show really is a spectacle to walk around. Also, 100%. At the end of that, there is the super yacht area. Cantieri. I'm really excited to see the new Cantieri del Marche 46 metre, which will be stunning. If you remember last year, we looked at the lovely Maverick stroke, the 44 metre from that yard, now called Lieutenant Pete Mitchell, on its worldwide voyage. I don't know whether you're following it still, but what a yacht that was. So it's good to see what they're doing next. And I understand that one of the next 44 metres is available in a splendid green and orange.
Of course, so you would like that.
Yeah, exactly. Benetti's there, 40 metre Oasis. What a yacht.
What a boat.
Yeah. And I think we should mention in that kind of same group and family, Azimuth. Your experience with that Azimuth has been a real eye opener. The 36 meters there, a couple of launches.
Well, they're launching the 30, which is going to be an exciting piece of kit for sure.
Definitely.
Again, it's always interesting in that sector as well, because everything seems to just get better. And where you don't think it can get much better at that size, whether it's 26, 27, 30 meters, all of those models, for example, on the Azimuth front, every time they bring something else out, it's more innovative. They're doing more with sustainability each time.
I was going to say sustainability. They seem to be really hitting the keynote on that, whether that's lightweight manufacture or engine technology or moving into hybrid areas, which we'll come on to again a little bit later in the podcast. But, they really seem to be hitting the nail on the head with that.
Absolutely. And you've obviously also got some manufacturers that you see less at potentially other shows.
Yes.
You've obviously got Miura, which is, again, a fantastic product, which we don't see because they're smaller yards and they don't build as many in terms of volume.
Yeah.
You obviously don't see them as often. And again, coming back through to what we were talking about the other day, the Mangusta range is obviously on display.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing the REV 104. That's something else. So, yeah, that's going to be a key boat to view there.
Absolutely. And then obviously, there are other manufacturers. This is not the full complete list. We've got a list behind us that we roughly know exactly what's there. But if we missed any other manufacturers, we will come and see you. Don't hate us. Essentially, moving to Port Canto. So Port Canto, and again, we don't try we don't try and be experts on things that we're not experts on. So there is a huge sailing yacht show there. I believe it's 120 sailboats. I think that's right.
My goodness, yeah.
And then essentially Port Canto is also a brokerage show, and it has now incorporated the 8 around 13 meter motor yachts.
Yes, yeah.
Which I think is quite cool. Again, just from a let's say a usability standpoint, you have a really, really easy to get to tender, which takes you from one show to the other, and if not, it is a short walk round to the other side. I say short walk in the middle of the summer.
Yeah,
it's not that short.
A lot of the water toys are over at Port Canto as well.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that, that's one thing to think about, is that is on that side, and that shuttle service, like you said, is so easy to get from A to B.
Yeah, and you've got some really exciting product. Obviously, we were looking the other day and we're looking forward to seeing it at the Salon Privé, which we're going to attend. But the Bellini is there on display, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is an exceptional piece of kit.
Well, there's 2 Bellinis there, so they're launching the 58.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's exciting for them. Yeah.
Very, very exciting. You've got the Bellini over there. You've got X-Shore will be there. Virtue. I'm going to say that wrong, I guess.
No, Virtue.
Yeah. I did say it wrong. And obviously all the other tenders, you've got Axopar, Brabus, all of these manufacturers, which, again, seeing them back to back is such a luxury.
That marketplace seems to have gone pop, with models and brands. It just seems to have grown so much in the last, since the kind of COVID moment. maybe just before when Axopar were coming stronger.
Yeah, I think it's just before that.
It's that area of boating, the kind of 30, 40, 50 feet day boats, just seems to have just grown wings. It's amazing.
I think well, being based where we're based here in Mallorca, at the end of the day, I think I see the reasoning behind it. When you look at again, these guys are obviously on display as well, but the Pardos, the Fjords of the world, the reality is a lot of these clients, we come from a British manufacturer who essentially built, I'm not going to say floating caravans because that's not quite right, but you took your house with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of the customers here have a luxury villa, or here or anywhere within the Mediterranean, they have a luxury villa, and actually they only really use them as day boats with cabins.
Yeah.
And I think that's really where it came from, was just somebody went, little light bulb moment. What if we just make a day boat? And I think everybody's just followed suit massively.
Yeah, but ironic, you've got the other end of the market of that, in that so many people with super yachts are going, I need that Axopar, that Sextor, that Wally tender as a chase boat to my larger boat. So we optimize our tender facilities. So that market is a really interesting area to visit, see the variety of variations on that smaller theme. Absolutely.
And I think it's interesting as well that market has grown up as well in terms of, Pardo do a 75 now. I mean, again, it's obviously then does have cabins, etc., but it is still primarily a large usable day boat.
Yeah.
So I think that sector of the market has, like you say, it's blown up. And it's always exciting, and we like getting involved in it in every way we can, really.
Yeah.
Whether that's as a chase boat or as an end user boat at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're going to go through. Well, we're going to test. Basically, like I said previously, I didn't do my homework. You did. So we're going to test that.
You think I did?
I think you did. Well, you made it sound like you did. Maybe that's the art. Anyway, we'll move on from that for a minute. We're going to go through some models.
Yep.
Hit me with what's there, what's exciting, and what's available basically at the show.
Okay. So let's think about. I think first of all, let's think about the Italian stallions that are really there in strength. The Ferretti Group has an amazing array and arsenal of models and brands.
Yeah. So, then models within the brand. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you look at that, Riva, for example, we've got 90 Argo, 82 Diva, and then moving up the scale, the 102 Corsaro, and the new 112 Dolce Vita Super, which that's going to be an awesome boat. With this fold down balconies, it's really offered the beach club to that kind of superior 30-meter plus boat.
Isn't it funny how the balconies never really became a thing until a couple of years ago, and then everybody's got balconies?
Yes, but balconies
make total sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's one of the it things today, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But the beach club itself obviously was one thing, and then the fact you've got fold down balconies to enhance your beach club is another thing. So a great bit of boat design, and even that's flowing down to the 50-foot fly bridges now with balconies, and then the day boats. How many day boats now have fold out balconies?
My question was, I think the first time I ever saw it was on a day boat.
It probably was, yeah, on the Evo or something like that.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Or,
I think so.
You go back to Widers and. They've all got the photo. Anyway, it's become a major theme of the yachting world.
As it should be. It's where you spend most time.
Yeah, indeed. Coming back to the Italian stallions, you've got in that same house, you've got Ferretti launching the 940, which is to me, that's a really handsome flybridge, sub 30 meters. It's hitting the sweet spot. I think that's going to get a lot of attention. The other manufacturers in that house as well. Custom Line, 106, 120, Navetta 38, all phenomenal. And I use the word Italian stallions. They're all really strong boats in the marketplace. Going a bit further afield, still staying Italian, Arcadia, A96 and A80 as launches, really nice. And the Sherpa there, which just seems to be their consistent good seller, and almost like a mini toy vessel to your super yacht, but by the same token, just it still offers a lot in itself. It just keeps going.
Comes back to what we said earlier, that this open market has become really, really popular. And obviously the Arcadia isn't open as such, but it is big flush decks, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of idea, that concept that's really become a thing in the nautical industry.
Yeah. And carrying on the Explorer theme, So, and then you move on to boats like New Marine, Turkish manufacturer, 30 and 37 XP that are there. Those two yachts, they always have a really strong presence. My eye's always drawn to them because they offer, again, the big deck space, lots of glass, big solid volume inside. They're just a little bit overlooked, but I think they're always on the rise. Really interesting from the Turkish end of things. So again, Italians, Turkish. We covered British earlier, and then there's we've mentioned the smaller yachts. There is so many day boats on offer. One of the interesting ones, SAY, SAY, the carbon yachts, really flash, interesting to the eye-catching boats. Very special.
I mean, on that smaller yacht size or smaller boat size, whatever you'd like to call it, whether that's a tender or your day boat, there is so many nice products now. Yeah. It's actually, I mean, there's two things to it, isn't it? The cost of them has gone up massively.
Yes.
Hugely.
Yeah.
But I must say that the innovation within that sector is crazy. Again, the nice thing is as well with those boats is that you can go to one of those shows and you can order one with a relatively close timescale due to the manufacturing abilities of most of these smaller boat manufacturers. So whether that's whether you go through Axopar, whether you go through Vertu, whether you go through Saxtor, massively popular these days.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned the kind of the should we say the upper end of that level, which is obviously Vanquish, Van Dutch, and Via. Those manufacturers really are kind of leading the way for looks, style, and innovation. The rest of that marketplace, your Axopars, your Axopars, your
two different
stores, Axopar with the 29. I think they've got 4 models on the 29 platform. Wow. Really showing their strength at that level. So there's a lot to see. The Saxtor range has grown, and I think if you walk around the marinas today, Saxtor are almost having the impact now that Axopar had 3-4 years ago. It's interesting to see the wave of change. I recently spent a time on a 400. Was really impressed by the features and the size and the volume of that boat. It was an enclosed boat, and it really rang home how far these yachts have gone in a very short space of time.
100%. And the thing is as well that everything's getting. I don't know how to put it, but everything, when you go into anything, you've got different flavors of everything. So then you can go to like Solaris Power, for example, really exciting, different looking boat. We obviously then got what we mentioned before, which is the Pardos, the Fjords. There's a lot of things down there. And then you can even go left a little bit and go down to something go to something which we tend to see a lot now with super yachts, is to go for ribs. So you can do luxury ribs like Saks, Pirelli. Some fantastic products that we've dealt with in the past that are really, really strong in that sector. Yeah,
I think we also should, now we've done that, cover the lower end, just coming back up to the super yacht. And, there is an amazing level of product. Monaco is a great show for seeing all this product, but Cannes seems to be the place where some of the yards and manufacturers just put one pinnacle product there that really makes their brand resonate. Cantieri de Marche is one of those, but you've got some really interesting brands there, some unique yachts on display there. So it's a really worthwhile place to walk through and see where the future of yachting is going, because at that level of expenditure, they can explore the boundaries that other more limited yards can't. And it's just a really interesting area. I think one worthy of note as well, which we haven't mentioned before, is the Lamborghini 63 from Technomar.
Of course, yeah. Didn't even cross my mind.
Or just resonates pure extreme day boatism in performance.
I was in
styling.
a boatyard yesterday, and there was one out of the water here in Port Adriano, and when you look at it, it is just something else.
Out and out.
The paintwork, everything is incredible.
Yeah,
really quite incredible.
What amazes me about that boat is how the theme of their automobile brand has transposed itself into a striking, again, parallel with the performance with the car to the boat, a striking boat on the water. It really is.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, you can go. It is something that we're seeing more of. Brabus obviously had that sector of the market for a long time as well, in terms of what they do to the Axopars. and making them a completely revamped. What they do with cars, essentially, they transpose that to the Axopar. So the Brabus Marine is a really impressive piece of kit as well.
Yeah, definitely, and one of my favourites. A couple of slightly different yachts as well at the show. Lazara UHV 100 and Majesty 100 Terrace.
Yep.
Obviously, Zara's American, Majesty made in the UAE, and very much climbing the ladder of yacht popularity. They really have come on. Had quite a shift in their upper tier management, and it's really showing that they've got some interesting models. I'm looking forward to seeing that Majesty 100 Terrace. It's going to be, I think, they're setting a new trend alongside, let's say, the Ferretti Infinito 90, a new trend of a different look and a different way of using a yacht, and having a terrace, a covered terrace at the front of the boat, not just the cabin at the front of the boat, is a really interesting thing.
I think so, because as well, it just breaks away from the norm of, let's put 5 cabins in this 30-ish meter yacht, 25 to 30 meter yacht, and let's put 5 cabins in it and make that the main deck. So instead, you've got that that extra area out the bow, which is kind of a private terrace for the owner. It's a special place to be for sure.
So let's talk about Azimuth for a second. Obviously, the upper end, 30 Metri Grande is a major launch for them at the show.
Yep.
One of our favourites, 36 metre, will be there. Quite looking forward to seeing their sea deck range as well, with, again, this kind of the concept of sustainability, of using hybrid engines. It's all very fresh in the marine world. And I know it's been held back a little bit. We're always behind the automobile market.
It has to be, doesn't it?
In development. And there have been some kind of restrictions with how lithium, etc., has been used on boats, but it's going to be really interesting to see how the word hybrid and sustainability are managed through these brands. Obviously, Volvo Penta has announced their hybrid version of the IPS system, which is fantastic news. And other manufacturers, MAN, etc., not following suit, but getting into the market as well right now. So it's going to be this. I think this show is a landmark for the word hybrid in the marine industry.
100%. Well, that Volvo Penta hybrid system is what's being utilised on that sea deck. So I think that's it's an exciting product to come out. Let's put it that way. And I think hybrid more than full electric for boats at the moment is the way it seems to be going. And I agree with that. I think that's a good concept to have at the moment.
One of the prettiest and most eye-catching yachts I think that we're going to see at Cannes is definitely the Bellini. Italian yard, famed for their kind of heritage of working with Riva to make or refurb the older Rivas. They even have basically a museum of 20 Rivas that they have on display at their yard. What a lovely new design. The Asta 36 I spent a bit of time with quite recently, and I really recommend and rate that boat. The interior, the quality, the way the balconies fold down and increase the size of the cockpit from 3.9 meters to 6.5 meters. It's really usable space on a 36-foot boat. And then they're launching the Asta 58 there as well, which is going to be really, really groundbreaking.
Yeah, sounds great. I mean, I've heard a lot about it from yourself, and I'm sure it will be a really cool launch at the show.
Definitely. That's it. So we're going to be there throughout the show.
Yep.
We're going to be obviously entertaining clients. One of the great things, I think in reality, if I was a boat buyer, and I have been, not on the scale of these, I think one of the great things about these shows is every piece of the periphery is there as well, whether it's insurance, whether it's finance, whether it's family offices, etc. They're all represented there, and it's a great way to bring lots of factors, the periphery of the yachting together, as well as seeing so much product.
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of it is I think it's like everything. If you wanted to go and do a week or 3 days, or, again, we appreciate that a lot of the customers that are buying these things don't have that much disposable time. But if you wanted to go and spend 2-3 days with us at the show, which obviously, again, we do advise whether you're going alone, whether you're coming with us, whatever the story is, that you do book in, because the problem with Cannes is that you have a lot of people trying to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is that you can go and see, you can go and put faces to every single thing that you're buying. So whether that is insurance, etc., toys, you can go and see, you can go and understand, you can go and negotiate, you can go and do whatever you need to with all of those products. And I think that is, again, it comes back to the same thing. Nowhere else offers the variety and availability that Cannes does.
Agreed. And I think, you know, it needs underlining the fact that's quite daunting. You know, if again, coming back to if I was a buyer, I want to come and see some pretty boats. I want to see be well treated.
Let's do a little exercise. I mean, I'm the buyer, and essentially I come to you and I say, I want to buy something between, let's say, 25 meters and 30 meters. And which is really our favorite, one of our favorite sectors in terms of new boats, for example. And I want to buy something between 25 meters and 50 meters. That would be a big range. And 30 meters. I need 4 cabins as a bare minimum, and I would like to come and see what's available and then go from there. Where would you take the client in terms of how would you start that process, and then how would you narrow down what you need to do?
Yeah, really good point, because this is also, I think, A, what we specialise in, but B, what the client wants to hear. In that, you know, you don't want, if you go to the show on your own and you leave that show and you've seen 10 manufacturers, you don't want 10 emails in your inbox. You don't want 10 calls following up. You know, you want a filter, and that's where I think we come in very well, to consult and to be there for the client, to hold the hand, to guide them through the journey of buying a yacht. Yeah. So to start with, you know, you listen to the client, you listen to their requirements. You know, you think about their family, what they do, how they use their boat, whether it's they've got a villa and it's a glorified day boat, or whether it's, no, I'm going to go travelling the Med on this yacht, what the crew status is. All those things you listen to, and then you compile, in reality, a shortlist. You know, and I'm a big fan of a kind of a green list, which customers really understand, and it might be 4 or 5 manufacturers in that list, or 4 or 5 models. Then a kind of an amber list, which are the outliers, and a red list once you've listened to it, which you pull out. So you're already doing the job of cutting down the invested time, or improving the investment in their time at the show. And I think that's a really important thing. And then obviously from that, you go on to speak directly to the manufacturers on their behalf, start to see what's available, understand the pricing implications, start to negotiate, probably visit the yards, maybe sea trial, and understand the ethos of each yard once you've whittled down that list to the very short list. Yeah. So I think that's, you know, investment in time is maximised and optimised by using people like us. Simple as that.
No, 100%. I think, like I say, you can't see what you see anywhere else. Yeah. And I think ultimately our job in these situations is to take the time available to the client and make sure they see what we believe is the best thing, having listened to their requirements. And that's why I said, for example, if you were a customer having 25 to 30 meters, again, you know, 4 cabins, for example, cruising Western Med, at the end of the day, you have a list of things that could go there, and then essentially you whittle that down to something that the customer really actually wants to come and see, and you focus on going to those vessels and seeing that product. No, I think from that perspective, this is what Cannes is. It's the biggest motor yacht show available. We have every brand under the sun there, and we have every partner and manufacturer that could be there at any one time.
Yeah, I think Cannes it's almost like Cannes is king. As I said earlier, it's the landmark show. It's the gateway to the what's available now, but also what people are thinking about in the future, where we can plan, where we can optimize the options for a client and get to the best end result for them, which is, let's face it, it's what we enjoy. You know, we love doing this with our clients. Absolutely. We love the boating family, the fraternity that the marine leisure industry offers. You know, it's something very special that until you experience it for a number of years, you don't understand the fun and the fabric of the business. It's a, you know, and Cannes encapsulates that in 5 days. It really does.
It does indeed. Yeah, we've got obviously we have some boats around for sale. One of the really good ones is our Absolute 68 Navetta, which is a CA that we've just recently acquired, which will be available to see in Antibes. Yep. And obviously we have the list of other CAs that we have around the area and around the Med. Obviously freely available to discuss any of those at any point with anyone that with any customers at Cannes that would require it. And again, I think it's going to be a great opportunity. It always is a great opportunity for us to catch up with everybody within the industry to really just ensure that all our collaborating partners and people that we work with on a continuous basis see us and always know that we're there.
Yeah.
And I think, last touch on Cannes before we wrap up is, it's the same thing as everything. Within this month of September, we also have Genoa and Monaco. And
Southampton.
Sorry, and Southampton. I always seem to forget about that one. Spent many years standing on a stand on that one. But we've got those other shows coming through. And again, none of them are like Cannes. They are very specific shows. They're very good for specific customers and specific vessels and models. However, I still believe to this day that Cannes is still the best place to take a client if you want to see everything in one place.
Yeah, that is exactly it. And we look forward to seeing friends, our brothers and sisters in the industry, clients, most importantly, and the new models. It's just going to be a really exciting time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. I keep getting told by Olivia that's a thing that I have to say these days. And
we probably should have said that at the beginning.
Well, I don't know. I think it's fine at the end. We'll wrap it up there.